Chapter 8, New Product and Innovation. When you're done studying this chapter, you should be able to answer the following questions in great detail. How to develop new products and introduce them to customers. What is the product life cycle? How do new products and extensions fit in marketing strategy? What trends should I watch? Philosophies of product development. There's two different philosophies, top-down and bottom-up, or co-creation. Top-down is idea generation from the executive level, leads market potential, leads to consumer testing, leads to design and development, which leads to beta testing, and then leads to commercialization or launching the product. The company that's most famous for this is Apple Computers. Steve Jobs said that if you asked customers what they want, they wouldn't know because they don't have the creative thought process or idea generation that he and his creative development team, research and development team, have. For example, if you asked somebody back in 1998 if they would use a smartphone, they had no idea what a smartphone was. They had no idea of even the idea of a smartphone. Yet Steve Jobs, back in the 80s, outlined or designed in general way what a tablet was going to look like. So before we had the infrastructure or the technology to actually build a tablet and have customers use them, he already had it on the drawing board. He already sketched out what it would look like, what its features were going to be, what its uses were. Again, it was very rudimentary, but the idea was already created. So his philosophy was customers don't know what they want. Apple tells them what they want by showing them all the benefits of all the different products. If you remember back when the iPad was first launched, people made fun of its name. They made fun of everything about it. And yet here we are today, where that's the third or fourth best-selling product Apple has. Bottom-up or co-creation, the ideas are derived from the customer and then process is the same as above. So instead of generating the ideas through the executives, the customers generate the ideas. So if you're using something and you don't like the way it is, or if you ask them why don't they have this or that, and they don't have any idea why they don't have that. And so the idea goes up the chain of command, and then they go through the same process as market potential leads to concept testing and so on and so forth. So some ideas are generated from the customers, and some ideas are generated from the research and development team or the executive branch. Product life cycle, PLC. When you first have a launch, you just introduce it to the public. Then if it's accepted by the public, it goes through a growth stage. And then at the end of the growth stage, it matures. Where growth meets maturity is the plateau of profit growth. Now some products stay in this plateau for decades. Clorox bleach, Tide powdered laundry detergent. Products like this just stay forever, and they don't grow, they don't shrink, they're just plateauing at the same level, same profit. They don't put a lot of money into improving them. I think the biggest improvement Clorox bleach has had is different scents and non-splashing container. Coca-Cola, the biggest innovation that Coca-Cola has had in the past 30 years is a new 2-liter bottle design, which they put over $20 million into the design of that. But the market's pretty much mature for Coca-Cola. And then others will go through a decline and then an extinction. Cell phones, you can see this with all the different numbers of Apple iPhones and Samsung Galaxies, the launch of the Samsung Galaxy 10, if that's what it's going to be called, I think it's 10, will be in February or March. And so the 9 will then have plateaued. The 8 will be in the decline stage. And then I don't even know if a 7 is available. Same thing with Apple and the iPhones. Diffusion of innovation. You have innovators, purchases at the launch of a new product, or they could be the beta testers. There's many things out there now that are beta tested, and they may be part of that group, which actually gets them before the public can get them, and then tells the manufacturer everything that's wrong with it so the manufacturer can fix it before it's launched. Early adapters purchase the product at the beginning of the growth stage. So they see, like I see right now, that the Galaxy's coming out with a new phone in February. I'll probably be there and see if there's any special deals that they're having at the launch. If there are, I'll be one of the early adapters and purchase it. If there's not, then I'll wait a few months and become an early majority. And if I get it in June, I'll be a part of the early majority, since the life cycle of a cell phone is so short, so brief. Early majority purchase the product in the middle of the growth stage, which for cell phones, that's usually 3 to 6 months is the middle of the growth stage. The late majority purchase the product at the mature stage. For cell phones, this is over 6 months, less than a year is the mature stage for cell phones in general. This is for the latest phones, not the general ones that you could get at Walmart or the burner phones or something like that. And the laggards, they purchase the phone at the end of the maturity or the decline stage. The laggards are the ones that are purchasing the iPhone 8s, the Samsung Galaxy 7s, the ones that are almost not at the end of their production, where they won't be making them for much longer, and that's where the laggards would be there. And they purchase something when everybody else already has it or has had it and has moved beyond it, then the laggards purchase it. So that's an overview of Chapter 8, New Products and Innovation.